Llegaron los ahorros de primavera a The Home Depot. ¿Y tú, en qué estás trabajando? Ya sea en tu patio, jardín o garage, el sistema de batería Ryobi One Plus le da potencia a más de 300 herramientas inalámbricas con un solo clic. Como a la sopladora o recortadora de cuerda Ryobi de 18 voltios, ahora a un nuevo precio más bajo de $129. Arranca todos tus proyectos con un clic. Solo en The Home Depot. Haces más, logras más.
Welcome to We Are The Hansons. I'm your host, Jeremy Hanson, with my lovely wife, Maya. How are you?
I am great.
Well, today we wanted to talk about, something that's kind of dear to our hearts. If you're going to do something, go have fun, do it well, go live life, for real. That's my biggest wish for all of my kids. I want to see them all successful and things like that. But, at the end of the day, what I really want from them is to go live life to its fullest. I don't mean wake up in the morning and go to work and pay your bills. I mean, that's all, that stuff's important. But I mean, go live life like you don't got tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta just go out and do, because there's no time like the present to start. You're busy.
I think so. And here's the thing. I mean, you get those dog days of summer, you know what I'm talking about? But that can happen, like getting cabin fever in the wintertime and stuff. There's always something to do if you actually go look for something to do.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in the summertime here. We always find things to do. And we don't usually have to pay to do it either.
I mean, you can do stuff that doesn't cost a lot of money. Like last year, we went out and we went morel hunting with the girls.
Yeah, that was fun.
We went down some hills. I mean, it was fun. We were in poisonous snake land.
And tick infestation areas.
But it was so fun. We walked all over. And I'll tell you what, the kids, I don't remember the last time the girls slept that good from going and doing something like that.
I think those hills really did the trick.
I think so, too. I think that we have always prioritized our quality time over quantity. And sometimes it's just because you don't get a lot of time with your family because you're trying to pay the bills.
Right. And all those times that we just go out and sporadically find something to do, our kids remember that forever.
Absolutely. And I would say for the kids, it's much more than that. For the adults, it's we're going to do something. It's almost like presents, when you're a kid and you're waiting for Christmas morning because you want the Christmas presents, right?
Yep.
What you don't realize when you're a kid is you're not going to remember any of those presents. But if you do something fun or you hear somebody laugh or somebody tells a joke, or those are the things that last forever.
Yeah, it's the real strong memories that you never forget.
Right, and I think it's the day-to-day things. I do not believe in these great, big, grandeur things. I think it's every day to get out and go do something and have fun. And even the little things, like my little Nina. She wakes up every morning, and what does she expect from Dad?
Coffee.
That's right. I have coffee with my 7-year-old daughter. It seems to me that it helps calm her nerves, and I think that her medical problem gets helped a little bit by some coffee, but she doesn't drink it for the coffee. She drinks it for the coffee creamer, which makes it taste more like hot chocolate.
Yeah.
However, she feels defined, like she's an adult or something when she sits there and has coffee with me. And, we talk about, we've had conversations from today. Having coffee, and today was Scribble Day. Or no, yesterday, excuse me. It was National Scribble Day. So she got to scribble, and she was looking forward to scribbling, making a picture. And we talked about that while having coffee.
I think she's got you wrapped around her fingers.
No, it's not that. It's just, or my other daughter, just going out and watching her ride bike. That's a big deal to her.
Yeah.
You know, it's the little things, but go out and do something. It's sad. I see so many kids today that, and I'm going to get some heat for this because some parents aren't going to like this, but some parents have gotten really lazy with their parenting, and they have used video games as a babysitter.
Yeah. Our kids, it's warm out. Our kids will be outside all the time now.
Yeah, and it's a constant fight with me. Now, I've played video games, and I think video games have a time and place. But, man, I think I remember way, way back when with them talking about the stress level that come from video games. And now with my daughters coming around, boys are not that big into social media. I mean, they're on there, but they're not, like, they don't get devastated by any of that stuff. Now, the girls, on the other hand, that is like drama central. And can you believe what this person said or that person said? Or if somebody was to say, you know what I'm saying? I think you got to cut some of that out. If you're going to prioritize quality family time, how can you have quality family time if you're all sitting around going to watch a movie and everybody's got their phones on?
I usually leave mine on a charger somewhere.
Or like if you're having supper, what's our rule?
No electronics at the table.
Yeah, it used to be no phones, and then they got iPads or whatever those pad things are. Tablets. And they were bringing that. And you know what? The dinner table, this is my kingdom, and I'm the king. So when I put my foot down and I say this isn't going to happen, and the most wonderful things come out of that, being able to talk. And, you know, the great thing is it's usually there's no bickering with dad sitting at the table, and it's kind of nice. And you create moments, and you learn a little bit, and you're fully present. You know what I'm saying? And then game nights. We played one the other night. The kids will remember forever. I wasn't playing. I was just watching, called, what was it, Bamboozled?
Yeah, Bean Boozled. Yeah, it's where they have these jelly bellies, and you can either get the good flavor or a bad flavor, but you spin the thing and it says on your turn you get to pick that whatever jelly bean it tells you, and it's all mixed together, so you don't know if you're going to get a bad one or a good one.
And you can't even smell them. They don't have a smell.
No, but they definitely have a nasty taste if you get the bad ones.
But it got, okay, so it was 2 girls and then 3 boys. 2 girls and then 3 boys. And 3 times in a row, it started with the boys, and the first one got what, dirty bandage?
Yeah, and that's when
the second one got boogers or something like that. Oh, that was gross, and they threw up. And I don't think that they're ever going to forget that. But you know what? Be present. If you're going to go do something, go do it to its fullest. You know what I'm saying? If you're with your family, absolutely go out there and be there. Okay?
Yes.
There's that country song that says, Daddy's gone and Mama's home, but she's on the phone. And there's some truth to that in a lot of families.
Yeah, definitely not our family. I'd rather be outside running around.
So we kind of touched on it a little bit, you know, creating meaningful family traditions. We have a lot of traditions, probably none bigger than making lefse.
Yep, lefse or Sunday football.
Yeah.
Making chili.
Oh, yeah. And different types of chili. We have our good green pepper chili. We have white chicken chili.
Yep.
We have regular chili. And then if we don't do chili, we do something on the smoker like pulled pork or ribs or something amazing. We do that. And food is kind of like a common denominator with everybody.
Yeah.
Food, football.
Yeah.
You know, just
movie nights with the kids.
Yep.
Just whenever. Usually it's Saturday nights, but.
Right. Or, I mean, okay, so this is a typical day in the Hanson home. Just out of the blue, 2 sisters might have a dance off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we pay attention. You know what? Your phone goes down, TV goes off, unless they're using that for the music. But yeah, it could be a dance off. It might be a play.
Or Gavin and Morgan, they do duets together.
Yeah, karaoke. Singing. I mean, the thing is, folks, I think that those types of moments, I think that's what strengthens your family. It creates those bonds that are never going to let go. And from when I was very young, I wanted the big family. And I wanted my big family to stay close, to be important to each other. And at a moment's notice, if one of the siblings needs each other, they would drop everything to go help them.
For sure. And our kids are definitely those kids.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that that's something to strive for. I mean, having your independence and being independent, but also I got your back type thing.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't say we, this almost exclusively comes from me.
I don't know.
I will get bored. I mean, and when I say bored, I mean like I'd rather watch paint dry type thing. And I'll be like, jump in the car, we're going. And you'll be like, where? And I'm like, I don't know. And literally because I don't know. I just want to go have an adventure. I want to get in my vehicle and leave and drive somewhere and check something out.
He likes to drive around looking for old cars so he can stop and try and buy them.
Old cars, boats, trucks, kind of anything. Sometimes you just stop in because you see something interesting.
Sometimes we're not in the good side of town to be doing that.
That's true, but the kids absolutely love it.
I don't know.
And I don't know how many times we've ended up stopping, getting ice cream.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Andy's ice cream.
Or stopping just somewhere new, because my wife is one of those people that is kind of mundane. Like she would rather go to the same place every time because she knows it's good. Where I am the type of person, like I want to try every different place there is out there everywhere. Wouldn't you say that's true?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so whether it's burgers, pizza, could be ice cream. I mean, we've stopped just to get fruit before at fruit stands. I mean, just going out and doing something, creating some memories, having fun. And I want my kids to do the same thing. Like, if you're bored, the reason that you're bored is because you're allowing yourself to be bored.
Yeah.
So I get out and I do stuff. And I really do want our kids to like make that a tradition. Like, let's go. When I was a kid, and I think this got instilled from me, up there in Badgerland, we would go and we just jump in the car, and didn't matter if it was winter or summer or whatever. And we would drive around and stop and look at boats and stop and look at snowmobiles and, get to know people and talk to them. And I mean, we did that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah, it was more, we used to travel with my dad all the time, but nothing like that. We never did anything like that. We'd go fishing, but.
Well, and that's one thing. If you are going to go traveling, I don't think you have to go travel and make it this great big destination. Like everybody wants to go to Disney World. And it's like you go to Disney World and you spend a few $1,000s and you're there for 8 hours. And then you're like, okay, let's go back to the motel. And the kids have more fun in the swimming pool than they did at Disneyland.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to do that.
Well,
I mean, the experience, Jeremy, not the whatever. It's just to be able to say you did it. It's kind of like skydiving. You jump out of a plane. Yeah, I've done that.
Well, the big difference is you probably are not going to die going to Disneyland.
Never know.
But the point is, I do that stuff all the time, but I don't have to have the big money like most families don't. And I'll go do something really fun, like going to Louisiana and going out and checking the gator guy.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, the girls, how many girls their age have been able to hold alligators? How many of the girls have been able to hold alligators with two jaws?
Yeah, that was weird.
It's just creating the experience. And what I have found is when you do have destinations like that, those kids are super happy just to go to the pool. That's like, they talk about that the whole time. It's not actually the destination you go. It's the little things you do on the way to the destination. So, yeah.
Yeah, so teaching by doing, not just saying. So, like us taking them out and doing stuff and not just saying, yeah, we've done this, this, and this. You just take them and do it. And that is fun for them. They love that. our boys love that. Just one phone call. Come on, we're going somewhere. Jump in the car, let's go, and they go.
Yeah, it could be fishing, could be going down to the swimming hole. I mean, there's a million things that it could be. Could be the other day we got a call. Hey, the storm chasing truck that
the Dominator.
The Dominator, it's up here. To go look at stuff like that, or it could be anything. But anything we do is we're doing it fully, and I think that's the whole point. Is no matter what you do, go and have fun, but don't kind of slack off. Go do it. Don't be afraid. Understand this life. This is it. You get one chance. This is it. So I would rather make a couple mistakes, measured mistakes in my life, and go live a full life. So when I'm ready to die, I can literally say, I have zero regrets. I have no regrets, because everything that I wanted to do, I tried.
Yeah, I would have to say the same thing. I mean, we've done a lot with our kids.
You have to, and I think that makes your kids well-rounded. I think the more that the kids are around you and in those situations where, you're meeting new people and stuff like that, they get to pick up, like you were saying, they get to pick up how to act by what you're doing and not what you're saying.
Yeah.
In all situations.
We have spontaneous ideas all the time just to get up and go and do.
I'll give you an example. The other day we were going, and I don't remember where we were going, but my daughter has this thing where she likes to watch YouTube, and I tried to limit what she watches. Anyways, this guy cuts me off, and he's being a prick, and my daughter said, Dad, fly him the bird. And I turned around, I'm like, what? And, I looked at her, and I was like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And she's like, you're right. It's stuff like that. It's by doing. Now, there's obviously a time for righteous anger, and I don't want my kids to get walked on and pushed over and stuff like that. And I think there's been plenty of opportunities where they've learned the other side of that coin too, don't you think?
I do think so. And I also think, you don't want to show them something like that, and then as they grow up, they start to follow in your footsteps in that sense.
Right. So I think that, this is probably more for the guys, but at some point you really need to say yes to experiences, and sometimes you got to bend the responsibilities, or bend what you have for your budget. I'm not saying being stupid with money. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're the type of guy that says, oh, hey, I need $100,000 in the bank, and we're not doing nothing until we got that $100,000 in there, your family's probably not going to be very happy, are they?
For sure not.
No. So, sometimes say yes to experiences, and then be spontaneous. Some of the funnest times we've ever had is when you said, no, I don't want to go anywhere. And I'm like, well, see ya if you're not coming with. And then I purposely say that. And then you're like, let me get ready. And then we go, and you have a blast.
Yeah, we do. But you never like to go and do what we like to do.
Well, I don't like shopping. I don't like shopping. And I will walk around Bass Pro, but that's not really shopping. That's like going to a store where you have a wish list and you're like, oh my goodness, I want everything in here. I don't want to go look for shoes, because the shoes I got, unless, you know what, I'm a need buyer. I think I'm like most guys. When my shoes wear out, I'm like, okay, now it's time to go get shoes. And I walk into the store, I'm like, I like that pair. Is that in my size? And they say yes, and I take them, I buy them, and I put them on, and I wear those ones out. Now, you girls, you will go into a shoe store, and you will look at them, and you will pet them, and you will smell them.
No,
and you will put them on and try them on and look them at 13,000 different ways in the mirror.
Now, clothes, maybe, but not shoes.
Shoes, clothes, all the same. Candles. No. I go into a candle store, and I can get 3 sniffs of 3 different candles, and I can smell most of them. And after that, I'm nose blind. Okay, I just can't smell anymore now. You guys will sit there in front of the candles.
The tool store is like that for guys.
Well, but the tools have a task.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
you guys have probably 30 of the same wrench.
No.
Yes.
We probably have 3 because one's lost and we need 2 if one's on each side.
Sure.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I would say that, you can never quit investing in your own self-growth. But I'll tell you the truth of it is, and I never really hear people talk about this, is a lot of times the growth you have as parents is what you learn from your children.
Yeah, you have to keep growing.
Right. Well, and the only way that you're going to learn from your kids is by spending as much quality time with them as you can.
Yeah, and same for kids. Like our kids learn from us. They learn from their cousins. They learn from their siblings.
Right. And I think, most of all, I think that it's important that you, and I alluded to this when we first started this, celebrating the small stuff. I've talked to plenty of people that are long in the tooth, if you know what I'm saying. And I've talked to them about, the things that they were glad they did, the things that they wish that they would have done different. And the one thing that I can say that, all of them have told me, all of them, is celebrate the little stuff because, life is made up of all these little tiny moments and little victories. And, who knows what it is? It could be something that you do for somebody. It could be your kid, like our youngest son hit the honor roll. Okay. And I told him, I was like, well, it only took you 3.5 years to do it.
Yeah.
But I was so happy for him just because I know he's smart and I know that he can do it. But it was something that I celebrated and he celebrated.
He was definitely proud of himself.
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Yeah. Or, have you ever, as a parent, just had a tough week where you just had that crap knocked out of you all week, whether it was work, home, you're not feeling good. I mean, unexpected bills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you just it's like you're tossed around in a dryer, except there's a bunch of tacks in there. I mean, when you get through that, you got to celebrate the little victories. Okay. That's what makes your life happy. I'll give you an example. One of my proudest moments was I came in, I just had a terrible, terrible day and night at work. And I walked into my house and Maya had, I don't know, it was like 10, 12 kids sitting at my table. And all of them were there. I didn't know it. They were neighbor kids.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all there. And they were having birthday cake when I came home. And I don't know, there was just something there that made me feel good that my wife is taking care of the community. And I walk in and I saw that food and I was like, it feels pretty good to know that my blood and my sweat paid for that. And it was making the kids happy. Like, go ahead and tell them the story about
Nothing better than putting a smile on a child's face.
Right. We lived next to a
Shelter.
It was a druggie shelter. Like people that were, it was just a really bad mix of different people. They were trying to get their stuff together, and some of them could and some of them couldn't, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one person there that it was their kid's birthday, and they got money for a cake, and the mom went and bought something that wasn't supposed to be bought with that money. Anyways, the kid didn't get the cake, right? And that's the moral of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And there was all these, most of the kids, what would you say, under 10?
Yeah.
And, a couple of them, 2 twins actually had a crush on my son. It was just, it turned out to be a wonderful, great thing. But they were just sitting there eating cake.
Yeah.
And having a great time.
Just to see a kid smile is the best feeling in the world. And if you can make somebody's day, do it.
Absolutely. If you can, because you have to prioritize the little stuff. Celebrate the small stuff. Invest in your family. Remember, you got to say yes to experiences, not just responsibilities. Teach by doing, not by saying. balance your life and make sure that you provide your kids with some adventure while providing them some stability. Okay? Create meaningful transitions and always prioritize time with your kids and with your, I'm going to say wife, but it could be husband too.
Yeah. Well, we are going to end that here tonight. You can go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. And if you have any questions for us, hit us up on Facebook, We Are The Hansons, and send us a message there, or send us an email at wearethehansonsshow@gmail.com.
Thank you very much.